I'm on another PBR cane with wings, but this time going back to Houston. This is year 1, week 31. Behind me is November 905 November Alpha, or November 905 November Alpha, which was one of 2 space shuttle carrier aircraft. This one actually first started out as an American Airlines 747, so shout out to American Airlines. So as I sit here underneath the single J2 rocket of the stage 3 of the S4B here of Apollo, I'm thinking of the current virtual astronauts like Scott Flysafe Manley and Admiral Comrade Andre. And I'm just trying to think about how after 50 years from the Wright brothers, we built this thing and we went to the moon. And now, 50 years later, we're just now talking about getting back to the moon here in 5, 10, 15 years. It's just kind of disheartening. So we're the country that put men on the moon, and now to enter the Space Center where we did that, I can't bring my telescoping selfie stick for my GoPro. Absolutely amazing.
Living the dream, yours and mine, euphoria. Hide and seek, reason and rhyme, grand and glorious.
It's absolutely amazing to reminisce. Skipper's back there, that was our hangout for breakfast. And also, like on Friday and Saturday night, they had roasted lamb because Skipper's was owned by this Greek couple, and it's just absolutely amazing to find out they still come into the restaurant. Stacy is still one of the servers there, so we started reminiscing because when I walked into Skipper's, she looked at me and goes, I know that guy, and I looked at her and said, I know that girl, and then we started reminiscing. But absolutely amazing to go back and to see what we did over a decade ago and to reminisce about what our life was like back then. And back then it was all about sailing. Every weekend we sailed. Oh, we were down doing races, having parties. One of the best things we ever did is we had a dock party, and we raised the sails of our sailboat, and then we actually used a computer and a projector to project the movie Captain Ron onto the sails. And God, that was just absolutely an amazing time of our life, and completely different than what we do now, which is not that much really. But back then it was just absolutely amazing. Every weekend. Very cool. You might be wondering what I'm doing standing at the end of a pier. Well, the berth right back here, the end of the dock right here behind me, that's where we had our catamaran W30. Her name was Honu, named after the Hawaiian for green sea turtle. And every weekend when we lived down here in Houston, we were weekenders, sailing every week, coming down, hanging out, having a great time down here at the marina. And then behind me here is Dragonfly, a Cape Dory 36 that was one of our good friends back in those days when all we did was weekend sailing, living down here in the marina. This is Stellar boat, still in the same place, and this was 10, 15 years ago. Absolutely amazing. In a previous week, we went and saw the first house that Aunt Cindy and I had built, and the first house we ever purchased. Well, now I'm in Crosby, Texas, which is on the northeast side of Houston, and behind me is the second house that we had built, and this is the house that we moved from when then we moved to South Carolina. So it's really good to see this house, and it's in such good shape. It really is nice to remember and to reminisce. Well, this time I won't call it a PBR can with wings. I'll call it a Shiner can with wings. But let's go home.
Stone and feather move outside your head.
So Aunt Cindy and I have decided to take a drive to go do a day hike, hashtag move more, and we're heading over to Morrow Mountain State Park here in North Carolina to go ahead and do this day hike, right? But we're driving through New Salem, North Carolina, and at an American Legion post, what do we find? An AH-1 Cobra attack helicopter at the American Legion post. Absolutely amazing.
Now or never, strong in every step. Give me a sign.
Aunt Cindy and I are at Morrow Mountain State Park, and we're taking this first trail, which is the Three Rivers Trail. Nice little loop trail here down by the river. We'll see it. I guess there's three rivers, the something 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 river, the something 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 river, and then it becomes the PD river, something like that. So, but we're out here, hashtag move more.
Hitting the mark, take to the sky, chasing the stars. Open your eyes, watching afar, waiting to fly. This is the start. Hide and seek, reason and rhyme, grand and glorious. Living the dream, yours and mine. Euphoria.
Aunt Cindy and I just completed the Morrow Mountain Loop Trail at Morrow Mountain in Morrow Mountain State Park in North Carolina. So we'll see you next week. So thumbs up because you're amazing. Subscribe and chime that bell to get notified. I am Uncle Mike.
I just want your extra time and your kiss. You. Thumbs up, cause you're amazing. Subscribe. Chime that bell to get notified. That's amazing. I gotta use that.